Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera or Hbar. So before we fully jump into this video, I just want to ask, guys on Hbar Berry, definitely leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much it actually does help the channel by just hitting that like button. I know it sounds crazy, but for something that takes 2 seconds, it does help the channel greatly. So if you guys could please leave a like, I will greatly appreciate it. So with all of that said, let's kind of jump in and let's address a few things. So overall, and I know I talk very fast within all of my videos, but I'm going to kind of slow it down just so I could really kind of talk to you guys one-on-one within the market right now. So first off, I think that we should all be very aware. Okay, first off, be prepared for anything, because this market right now is very unpredictable. I know that we've been talking about the December topping points. In fact, I know that a lot of you are probably thinking to yourselves, man, I thought that we were supposed to be topped right now in terms of Bitcoin. Altcoins were supposed to be soaring. And honestly speaking, yes, that is what pretty much almost everybody was expecting. And as we do know in crypto, when you are expecting the same thing as everybody else, 9 times out of 10 it usually does not happen. So now this cycle is looking a little bit different. You know, we have people calling for a bear market. We have people calling for a lengthened, bull cycle. In my opinion, I believe that we are in a lengthened bull cycle, but of course I'm prepared for either one. I'm prepared for a bear market or a bull market. And the way to really kind of prepare yourselves for that is to not be over invested. Being able to, HODL investments if tomorrow, for an example, things just crashed immediately. Okay? Being over invested is probably one of the worst things. And of course, when we're talking about preparing for a bear market, you should have already have taken some profit this year alone. Maybe not if you were invested into Hbar, but that is why, diversification also does help greatly. And I always say that, Hbar is just not one of the only assets in my portfolio. I hold a ton of other ones. And yes, I have taken profit significantly this bull run alone, but Hbar, I have not sold a single one still. I'm still hodling my original bag. Now with this currently, we are seeing about 22 cents. We almost hit 22 cents exact today. Now, in my opinion, I think that this market is looking fairly bearish still. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin just yet. I told you guys I do want Bitcoin back over 53.5K to possibly even 56K. Hbar, I said 36 cents. Until we get to 36 cents, I am not bullish on Hbar still. But of course, that doesn't mean that I can't be bullish on it long term due to the overall upgrades, or I shouldn't say upgrades, but updates that we are seeing, but also the upgrades that are coming in 2022. So I'm very bullish on that, especially if we are in a lengthened cycle, which in my opinion is looking like we very well are. So I'm watching this market very closely, and I'm playing with caution. So please play with caution. Now, before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys do want to get my trading indicators, my exit plans, and stuff like that, go check out NCashOfficial.com. Links are down in the description below as well as in the comments below. And of course, the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack is still on sale, 35% off until the end of this month. This does include everything on the website as well as all future content for free. So if you guys are interested into that, definitely check it out. But with that being said, let's move on. So as you guys know, Hbar and the Metaverse, or Metaverse in general as a company name, partnered yesterday, I believe, or it was the day before yesterday. Either one, I reported on it yesterday, and we actually seen this. Kronos Group, they pretty much welcomed Metaverse as an associate member. Now, the significant thing about Kronos is the fact that this is a huge company. Okay, first off, it's an open, nonprofit, member-driven consortium of over 150 industry-leading companies creating advanced royalty-free interoperability standards for 3D graphics, augmented and virtual reality, parallel programming, vision acceleration, and machine learning. So this is actually fairly large. And I just want you guys to understand that this is actually a pretty big company when you look at their members list. Just so you guys know, overall, their members list has, of course, Metaverse, as we do know, is just one of their most recent members, and we do see this Zed company as well. But look at some of the other ones, right? Snap. We even see, a few other ones like Adidas. We also seen Netflix on here. there is a ton of companies. There's over 3 pages plus of companies that are labeled here and listed. Logitech is one. Even Ashley Furniture is one. So a lot of these members, in my mind, are going to be, partnering with them for some sort of reason. It could be, anything in general, but I do know that a lot of these companies, for an example, like Adidas, has been moving into the NFT and the metaverse scene, and like I said, the partnerships or the members continue on and continue on, and you could read more so about what these are really kind of doing in terms of this membership or partnership, realistically speaking, because I'm going to call it a partnership. Essentially, that's what they are, but a lot of this stuff is going to pretty much be welcoming into the new world of, first off, metaverse and NFTs and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for this overall, and I'm very excited to see a lot of these partnerships or memberships, if you will, kind of come to fruition, because they are some big names. For an example, going back to December 2nd, we've seen Adidas enters the metaverse with NFT partnerships. So a lot of these major NFT platforms or NFT sort of projects are partnering with some big names. For an example, we did see, Adidas pretty much, have a partnership with Bored Ape, as well as G Money NFT and Punk's comic. Now, with this, we did see here this autumn, Adidas, known for celebrating ideas at the bleeding edge of originality. It's settling in the frontier of creativity, the metaverse. Our goal there to see every one of its inhabitants thrive. The metaverse is where everyone, or anyone, can express their most original ideas and be their most authentic selves in whatever form they might take. And thanks to blockchain and NFTs, those pioneers can own a piece of what they create. And of course, with a lot of these major partnerships, I suspect that there's going to be a lot more. First off, we even seen Nike pretty much partner with Roblox to pretty much build some stuff within the metaverse and the NFT scene. I suspect that the NFT scene and the metaverse scene are going to prosper greatly ahead, and I'm very excited for that. Now, of course, metaverse in terms of the Hbar Foundation partnership, I did report on this a little bit yesterday, but I didn't really kind of go in depth, and I did want to go in depth on it to really kind of show you guys what is going to be happening. First off, the metaverse is enabling creators to become involved with turnkey solutions. And if you guys don't know what that term actually means, it's almost like turnkey businesses where you don't pretty much have to do a ton of work. It's almost like you just turn the key, open it, and that's pretty much it. And it just creates revenue or some sort of solution similar to this, right? So it's easy to use and it's accessible, so it's very easy. The Hbar Foundation is supporting these efforts via a grant and organizational support to fuel building in the infrastructure of the enterprise metaverse on the Hedera network, of course. This is going to provide a ton of opportunities for careers as well in the metaverse. The metaverse is the future of human communication, collaboration, and commerce. Like I said yesterday, we reported on that, but overall, metaverse is well positioned to provide the tools to build the metaverse, added Alex Russman, Hbar Foundation Director of NFTs and Virtual Worlds. We see their code optional approach to creating 3D experiences, augmented reality, and virtual worlds as the key to unlocking the unlimited value across enterprise in training, marketing, sales, and entertainment. So this is fairly large, and in my opinion, I think that a lot of these are going to be very interesting when they do come to fruition in terms of a lot of these use case values, as well as a lot of the overall development that's taken place behind the scenes for NFTs and even virtual worlds. In terms of virtual worlds, we even look at virtual cities, and that's essentially what's happening with FPOS, with Hedera. This goes back to April 20th of 2021. FPOS reveals plans to power Australian smart cities with blockchain tech. Now, in terms of smart cities and stuff like that, I suspect that we will see virtual cities also be built within the metaverse. I think that that's going to be incredible. But overall, this is pretty cool. Smart cities in my mind are going to be very interesting when they are fully built out. We even say we're going to be looking at smart cities. We're going to be looking at autonomous vehicles and things that we haven't even thought about yet. And when we're talking about this, all of this needs new infrastructure, and FPOS needs to be informed by that. And when we're talking about a lot of things that are happening from the DLT standpoint of things, I think a lot of these partnerships are really going to leverage a ton of the technology behind, the scenes for a lot of these assets, but also it's going to provide a ton of value for individuals who want to utilize this technology and even the infrastructures that are being built out. We even see here, this is a big part of our work and effort at the moment to bring in digital identity and transactions so that we can securely support payments and other transaction clubs in the Australian digital ecosystem. Hedera is the only next generation network that will support those kinds of use cases. So we wanted to test it, and it has operated beautifully. Now, because we've got all this digital strategy, we are in the position where we can start looking at ways that problems can be solved in a way which is maybe non-traditional and more distributed. Now, when I talk to you guys about Hedera, when I talk to you guys about this technology, I just want you guys to understand that anybody who does test this type of technology, even when we're talking about XRP being tested by banks, obviously they are seeing the potential behind it. They're seeing how easy this technology could be utilized, how easy this technology could be operated by anybody that wants to pretty much plug and play with it. This is going to be incredible, and it's going to open a ton of doors for many major enterprise-grade use cases and even companies. That's why when we're talking about Metaverse being, pretty much a turnkey solution for a lot of creators and developers out there, that's huge for the NFT scene as well as the future of digitization through the Metaverse. I'm very excited for this. Now, we also see our successful smart cities will be impossible without decentralized technology. Now, this goes back to just October of this year, and blockchain technology promises to be the foundational network layer for many systems underpinning successful smart cities. And I think that when we're seeing blockchain technology being labeled, that tells me that people don't know about Hashgraph just yet. Now, we do see here, right? Most importantly, they will be built on entirely new financial technology infrastructure and supports the flow of micropayments over financial plumbing in a similar way that other essential utilities, water, energy, data, etc., flow over pipes, cables, and fiber. In my mind, the future of a lot of these smart cities, these, major advances in a lot of, pretty much what we are seeing, I suspect that, carbon neutrality isn't going to be built over Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. Okay, it's going to be built over something like Hedera. Hedera is carbon negative. It's the only DLT right now that is carbon negative in my, I'm pretty sure it is the only DLT that is carbon negative, to be honest with you, because I even looked at XRP, and they're not as sustainable as Hedera. It's the most sustainable DLT in the space currently. But overall, when we're talking about everything that has happened with a lot of decentralization, digitization, we're even seeing here, first-generation distributed ledger technologies or DLTs cannot scale to meet these needs without compromising on security or decentralization, but next-generation DLTs are emerging that can address the very high throughput requirements without compromising on the security and therefore the trust that is essential. And I just want you guys to understand the big key word there: trust, and pretty much not sacrificing, security. And guess what is the most secure DLT out there? That is essentially the trust layer for all of these major, Internet of Things and these major use cases of supply chain. Even talking about interoperable identity systems and new decentralized economical, models. Hedera. So when we're talking about CBDCs and we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution of technology and payments and CBDCs and tokenization and digitization in general, Hedera is pretty much my number one pick. And we even see here, this is talking more so about Hedera Hashgraph and pretty much how big Hedera could be. So in my mind, we have to pay attention to what is happening with Hedera, because Hedera, in my mind, is the number one choice for a lot of these major use cases. And I don't think people are realizing how big Hbar truly is going to become, especially with a lot of these major partnerships. So I'm very excited. I'm very, happy to see the future unfold. And I'm going to leave you off with this major, video from Lehman Barrett himself talking about Web3 and pretty much this market in general. So listen closely to this, because this is key for anybody who is holding Hbar.
Typically, the history of any kind of market is that you have this enormous springing up of thousands and thousands of companies, and then you have a crash, and then you get down to 3 or 4, whatever, big companies that continue on there. And that's the way every revolution tends to happen. I'm sure we'll see the same pattern here. Typically, the history of any...
And I do completely agree with him. I honestly think that when we're talking about the 15,000, almost 16,000 assets in this space, a lot of them, once regulations are here, first off, once regulations come into the space, we're going to see a massive crash. Okay? We're going to see like a 90% plus crash across the board. And then the only assets left are going to be regulated, legitimate projects that are going to prosper ahead of many other assets that a lot of people are holding right now. Like, for my opinion, right? You know, XRP, Hbar, XDC, AOBT, QNT, just to name a few, are some of the only assets that are really going to prosper. ISO 222 definitely. You know, assets that are fully transparent, fully decentralized, that are fully operating right now and providing use case value are going to be, you know, some of the only few assets that survive regulations. So I do completely agree with what he's saying where, you know, there's only going to be a select few assets that completely survive the next revolution of crypto. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.